And now the makers of Tingle, the long-wearing dental floss created from spun glass fiber, invite you to join us for another exciting adventure of Elmer W. Litzinger, Spy.
My name is Elmer W. Litzinger, Spy. It's my job to handle the toughest espionage assignments our government can hand out. Not long ago, the Pentagon heard rumors that a foreign power might be seeking information about our early warning radar system in the Arctic. I hopped a plane to the Yukon to check it out, and then trudged through the snow to the only hotel for hundreds of miles around.
Well, good evening, sir. A little nippy out tonight, isn't it?
I didn't notice. Do you have a room available?
Oh, sure. February is our off-season around here. All we get now are people who want a vacation at the hotel on some TV quiz show. You one of them?
No, this is strictly a business trip for me. The name is Elmer W. Litzinger, Spy.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Byron C. Forbush, night clerk. You know, I think the room you'd like is number 36. Most people don't want it because they think that big tower outside the window is an oil well. It'll make a lot of noise, but being a spy, you probably know what it really is.
Oh, indeed I do. It's one of the 749 radar listening towers we operate clear across the continent.
749 of them. Gee, I thought there were only about 400 or 500 at most.
Oh, no, we passed the 500 mark several years ago. Here, let me get this map out of my briefcase. It shows the location of every radar station we have.
Oh,
see?
Yeah, all those little red dots. You know, my wife would sure be interested in seeing this. I hate to wake her up now. Do you mind if I take some pictures of this to show her in the morning?
No, help yourself. And you might tell the little woman that this one blank spot here is our only vulnerable point. But we'll be putting towers in there, too, as soon as the spring thaw comes. So there's no need for her to worry.
Well, that's kind of you to offer reassurance. But we'll probably be back home in a distant foreign capital by spring anyway. I only have to stick around here until I complete my mission.
Oh, that's too bad. I think this town is really going to boom.
Well, if everything goes the way my imperial leader hopes, I'll probably be back here running things in a year or two.
Well, you won't know the place by then. We plan to put in a silo for missiles out near the edge of town next fall. And there'll even be a landing field for B-52s around here before long, too.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, let me write all this down in my memory book before I forget it. See, missile silo, B-52 base. About how many planes would you estimate?
We think 30 should be enough.
Well, it's not enough, but if that's what you think, I'll put it down that way.
Well, I really shouldn't be prattling on like this. I know you night clerks have to bring the building up to date and watch the switchboard and all that.
Oh, it's perfectly all right. Like I said, this is our off-season. We only had one other guest, and he checked out this evening.
Oh, really? That's odd. I was told that Major General Standish was staying here and was to be my contact.
Well, he was the guest who checked out. But if you still want to contact him, you can find his body stuffed through a hole in the ice out in the lake. It's only about 3 miles from town.
Well, I probably couldn't even get a cab to take me out there on a bad night like this. Besides, if the general checked out, that must mean he's finished his work here. So I'll just mail my report to Washington, saying, case closed successfully. By Elmer W. Litzinger, Spy. Hi, Kent. How you doing?
Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. What's new?
Well, I got a big part in the story today.
Oh, come on, microphone. And
Yes.
Tell us about it.
I ran into Chester Hasbrook Frisbee when I was leaving the building yesterday, and he said he'd love to have me portray a role in Mary Backstage, Noble Wife.
Oh, just in time to pick up a little extra money for the summer.
I shall be appearing in today's episode. See if you can spot me in the show.
Oh, I'm sure we can pick up your
Thank
voice.
you.
Awfully nice. Thank you, folks. All right, we'll be listening then, and you'll be on. Well, you better get over there now. I see there's a lot of action going on in the other studio.
All right, come on, Webb. We'll go over.
All right, see you a little later, fellas.
So long.
Next, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife, the story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. Yesterday, after Mary found her memory had returned, she left Harry, Pop, and Calvin, who had lost their memories temporarily, perhaps, to return to the theater and the hotel in Meredith, New Hampshire. And Harry, Pop, and Calvin set out in the cab for the local doctor. Now, as they arrive in front of his home, we hear...
Well, this is the first doctor's house that I've noticed, so here you are.
Must be it, I guess. Dr. Leonard Harkins. Well, come on, sir, and you too.
Right. Okay.
Let's go in.
Very good. I wonder who I am.
Yes, I wonder who I
It's
am.
funny walking around not knowing who you are.
Sure is, despite what that lady said, that lady who called herself Mary Backstage.
I was looking through my wallet. It had a lot of interesting things and names in there, but none of them strike a note. And none of them seem to be familiar to me.
You have an identification card that says, what did she say your name was? Calvin L. Hoogerman?
She said that. Well, why I just, I think he's a magician because one of the things in my wallet said Calvin L. Hoogerman.
Yeah, look at this union card of mine. It says Pop Beloved.
Uh-huh.
That's what my
That's
name
your
is
name?
supposed to be, I guess.
Yeah?
Okay.
What, excuse me.
Somebody said, come on in.
Did you call us to come in, sir?
Yes, I did, gentlemen. I'm Dr. Leonard Harkins.
Oh.
Can I be of some help to you?
Yes, you may. Is that dog, is he vicious?
No, he's as friendly as a pussycat.
Oh, all right. Well, good. Well, come on in, everybody, and let's go to the door.
All right. May I have the honor of an introduction to you gentlemen?
Well, that's why we're here, Doctor.
We were in a slight accident. We all happened to hit our heads.
And we don't know who we are.
We think maybe it's amnesia. I see. Well, who wants to go first?
Well, go where?
No, I mean, who wants me to question them about what's the matter with them?
Well, I don't care. Do you want to talk to me first?
All right. I'll have to put something down on your card.
All right. Well, aren't you going to put on a white coat like doctors should?
I will if it's necessary. Now, you said your name was...
You don't think we have anything that's catching, do you?
No.
Oh, boy.
Wow, did you get...
Do you,
Is this your day off, Doctor? No, it's my regular office hours.
You know, I remember people telling...
Excuse me. Hello, Dr. Harkins speaking.
Oh, I think he's been drinking, you know.
Yes?
I really do.
Any of you here named Backstage?
Well, we don't know.
Harry Backstage?
We don't know what our names are.
Well, the lady who drove the taxi cab said that is my name.
Well, how do you know? Oh, I wouldn't believe every taxi cab driver I talk to.
No, you couldn't be sure.
Why? Phew.
What was that, ma'am? She says she's Mary Backstage.
Uh-huh.
She says she's your wife.
Who? My wife?
This gentleman.
Hello?
Me. No, he's pointing at me.
Oh, I didn't
Well, you
know.
might as well take it. You could just...
you my wife, lady? Well, I don't know who I am.
Maybe it's for me, Calvin.
You know, I would have been a great doctor myself, only I flunked gloves. Yeah. Oh, you. Yeah. Well, then, I guess maybe this call isn't for me. Well, thank you for calling. Good luck.
Well, what was that all about?
Some lady thought she was my wife. Obviously, she was in error. I don't think I'm married, although I could be, you see.
Any one of us could be, or all of us. You see, we just don't know, Dr. Harkins.
Yeah.
I can see that. I think you're all suffering from amnesia.
Oh, maybe you're right.
And so our friends have found a friendly doctor in Meredith, New Hampshire. But will he be able to cure them of their apparent amnesia? Be sure and join us tomorrow when we'll hear Calvin Hoogerman say,
This is the first time I ever had a cast on my head.
that's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking.
Time for another letter addressed to Mr. I know where they are. He spent many years building up the world's most complete reference file on former celebrities who are no longer in the public spotlight. Ralph, I think we have even more mail than usual that's come in this week from listeners who want your help in locating the favorites of bygone days.
Well, you know how pleased I always am to hear that, Ray.
Sure.
And that's especially true right now. I send out little baskets at Easter time to all the washed-up celebrities I keep in touch with. This year, I'm going to put a note right there on top of the cellophane grass in each basket, mentioning how the public still remembers the old-timers. They'll get a big lift from that.
Well, I certainly hope so. Here's one of the letters I'd like to read that's typical of the hundreds we receive addressed to Mr. I Know Where They Are.
All right.
It's from a woman up in Maine. She writes that she was taken to a circus sideshow many years ago when she was a little girl, and she still remembers seeing a man there who claimed to be 10 feet tall. The giant was named Tiny Watkins. And this woman wonders whatever became of him.
Oh, goodness sakes alive. Tiny Watkins. He's been retired for a good many years now. But, of course, he's still a huge man, even though he's almost 80.
Well, I guess his age wouldn't have anything to do with his size once he became an adult. Is he really 10 feet tall, though, as this woman remembers?
No, Tiny's only about 9 feet 8.5, Ray. Those circus people always exaggerate. I might add that Tiny wasn't his real name, either. The other people in the circus just called him that because he was so large. They thought it added a touch of humor to call a man tiny when he was almost 10 feet tall.
Well, I'm sure Tiny accepted that nickname good-naturedly.
No, he didn't, Ray. It's fat people who are traditionally good-natured, not tall people.
Well, I guess that's true. In any event, where is Tiny Watkins now?
Tiny and his third wife are living happily on a small Polynesian island. He writes me that the people there are very innocent. They think he came from another planet because he's so tall. They worship him as an idol, and Tiny seems to like that.
Well, it's nice to know that he's happy in his declining years. All right, here's another letter addressed to Mr. I Know Where They Are from a man in Tulsa. He says that his ambitions in life were inspired by watching Jody Crimmins become the first left-handed skeet shooter ever to win the Oklahoma State Championship in 1927. And this gentleman wants to know if you can tell him whatever became of Jody.
No, I'm sorry, Ray. I don't know where Jody Crimmins is.
Really? Gee, I'm surprised to hear you say that, Ralph.
Well, it's not too surprising in this case, Ray. You see, they recounted the broken clay pigeons the next day and found they'd made a mistake. Jody Crimmins didn't win the 1927 Oklahoma State Championship after all. And I'm afraid I don't consider a person who really only finished second in a skeet shoot to be a big enough celebrity for me to keep in touch with.
I see. Well,
Excuse me. I might add I do still correspond with Wilbur Nashley. He was declared the 1927 Oklahoma State champion after the mistake was found in Jody Crimmins' score. And Wilbur Nashley is now a retired shoe clerk living in Ardmore,
well, I'm
Oklahoma.
Sure, right, I'm sure that information will more than satisfy the listener who wrote in. I think we have time for another letter addressed to Mr. I Know Where They Are. It's from a woman in Ohio, and she's wondering about Bubbles Unsinger, the one-time Radcliffe College girl who went on to become a gun moll for some of the most notorious gangsters of the 30s.
Oh, my. Bubbles Unsinger. She was a wild one, Ray. When they finally caught up with her in 1936, the reason she gave for hanging around with the Ma Barker gang was that they were all good mahjong players.
Well, she sounds like a rather irrepressible young woman. Whatever became of Bubbles Unsinger, Ralph?
Well, she just got out of prison last year, Ray. She was sentenced to 40 years, but they let her out 6 months early for good behavior. Bubbles is now running a small metal shop in Cincinnati that makes license plates. It's the only kind of work she's trained to do.
Well, it's too bad to see a promising young person like that fail to live up to her full potential.
Right.
But at least she seems to be in good health. So I want to thank you for stopping by to help our listeners locate some of their favorite celebrities of bygone days.
I was glad to do it, Ray. I always set aside part of each afternoon for living in the past anyway. Goodbye.
Next, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife, the story of America's favorite family of the footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway.
Yesterday, Harry, Calvin, and Pop sought out Dr. Leonard Harkins at his office in Meredith, New Hampshire, to seek help in regaining their memories, since all three appear to be suffering from amnesia. Now, as the doctor continues his efforts to assist them, we hear Calvin say,
Well, no, I guess I probably have had all the childhood sicknesses you can think of. Measles, whooping cough. That's about it, I guess. Maybe, I don't know as I ever did have tonsils. Yes, my tonsils were out, sure.
How about measles and whooping cough?
Well, I'm suffering from amnesia. I don't remember whether I had them. I assume I did, because when I was growing up, most people did have that. Although
All right,
I don't remember growing up particularly.
I'll just put down that you probably had all of the childhood diseases that you could have. Now, this other gentleman, Lee? Yes, do you remember anything at all about your past?
Let me write and fill in, and you can ask him the questions, Doctor.
All right.
And look, with your face the other way, your breath really is, well, it was just willing my tie. What a thing.
Where were we? Please, don't interrupt, because
all
I
right.
lose my train of thought. Now, the first question is, do you remember anything about your past life? No, I only know that my union card is in this wallet here. It says I'm Pop Beloved, and that I used to tap dance.
Should I put this down on the report, Doctor?
Oh, yes, any little spark of information can be very helpful.
Union card in his wallet. What union was that?
Well, I guess it's Equity, isn't it? Yeah, it says Equity on the top of it.
Equity?
That means I must have been on Broadway.
You were on Broadway?
Oh, that's a good tip. Say, you know, there's a Broadway show going to open here in Meredith
boy.
in just
Oh, boy.
a few days. It's called Westchester Furioso.
Oh. Do
Westchester Furioso?
you ever open that window at all, Doctor?
No, I don't like breezes to come through.
I don't
Wait
suppose
just a minute. Westchester Furioso, that rings a bell.
Why? I didn't hear anything.
No, he says it's going to open here in town in a few days.
Uh-huh.
That's right. And
Did you have any childhood diseases? You with the pointed head?
I don't remember, of course.
Well, childhood diseases are such things as whooping cough and measles, the mumps, things like that.
Well, it wouldn't matter now at his age. It wouldn't make much difference whether he had
Swollen glands. Did you ever have swollen glands?
Yeah, I think probably I did, but there again, I can't say for sure.
I'll just write all these down. Swollen gland, bump.
Did you say when this Westchester Furioso is going to open, Dr. Harkins?
Did you have whooping cough?
Yes, I think it's going to open next Monday.
Did you have whooping cough?
And you say it's a... I don't remember.
Well,
A real Broadway production? Yes, it's a real Broadway production. The original cast, starring Mary and Harry Backstage, are going to be appearing in it.
Do you have any health insurance?
No, I don't believe I do. Don't have anything here in my wallet that says I do.
That's very important. That will affect the...
Wait a minute, I'm the doctor here. You're acting like these are your patients.
Well, I'm just
They
trying...
came to see me first.
I'm just trying to help. Oh,
I'm going
boy.
to get the fee. Let me ask you one thing. Where could we find out more about this show? Well, let's go over to the town hall. That's where it's going to be.
Were you ever inoculated for typhoid fever?
Don't ask them any more questions. These are my patients.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to help.
All right, now let me ask just one final question or two. Can you all pay my fee? And so Dr. Harkins continues to probe the memories of Harry, Pop, and Calvin, but with little success. But you'll want to join us tomorrow when we'll hear Calvin say,
When will the cast come off, Doctor?
that's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking.
Close in 5 minutes.